she could just like clear the wave and we can't really like siege or
No, no,
yeah, I
no.
don't
If
know.
your team had a Nivea mid,
Oh, if we had an Nivea mid. Then I know I think I would go top.
right? Why would you not want to go mid if the Nivea is mid?
Um, basically like the same reason, but like flipped around. Just because like she can wave clear and like she doesn't have to like yeah, like she can wave clear. I don't know. That's pretty much the only thing I can think of.
Right. Basically, she wants mid lane. Right.
Yeah.
Is the big idea. Zed actually wants to be in a side lane so he can kill someone. Right.
Hmm.
Chase someone down. But yeah, that's the big idea. Is you look at you're a mid laner, you look at their mid laner, and then you also have to look at top too. So
Is that like
that's kind of the big idea.
is that a thing for like most assassins? Like would a Kali also like go want a side wave?
Right.
Or,
Why would these assassins want a side lane than a mid lane?
um, I mean I guess like I would think that it's because like they want to be in a side lane so they have the potential to like duel or like 1v1, but like I would imagine that like most bruisers or like a Janna support and like an ADC can get an assassin, right? Or
Right. So the idea is, let's say this orange M is the assassin. Okay.
Mhm.
And then of course, based on who shows up on the map, he can or cannot kill the guy he's facing. Right. So how far, what is the kind of area of effect that he can impact? Like what kind of area can he pressure? Okay, there's this section, and then maybe this section, and maybe this section. Right.
Mhm.
And then since you're afraid of multiple people, because if it's 2v1, you're probably gonna lose. It's hard for him, or maybe it can be hard for him to do something because someone can rotate quicker since it's mid lane. Right.
Mhm.
Now, what happens if erase all this? Oh no, that's not the erase button. Erase, 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 and then you move this guy down here, right? And tower is gone, right? Let's say this bot tower is gone. What's the range of effectiveness now? It's like, oh, now it's like this, right? So,
Mhm.
and the only people who can come reinforce is from mid lane, right? It's not. There's some reasons. There are multiple reasons why, but basically it comes down to you can do more because less people can help, and you have more room to chase slash hide, right? How many bushes can you hide in mid? Like two, right?
Yeah, like
How many
nothing.
bushes down here?
A lot.
You get a
Yeah.
dusk blade, you get a pink ward. Oh, nice try warding any of these bushes because you're just gonna instantly kill someone, right? So that's kind of the idea.
Mhm.
So Zed does want to go to a side lane, but all you really need to know is that some champions like side lane better, so maybe that might be a reason for them to go side lane. So what's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here?
Um, I'm trying to get mid turret, and I guess I don't really like have vision.
Okay, so
Or
what's the problem here? Would you say? Do we have a problem here? I guess is the
Kha'Zix.
question.
Or, I mean, like I have flash, so I wouldn't think so. Actually, yeah. I don't see a problem like so far.
So can they engage on you? I guess is the question, and how?
Yes. Anyone jumps on me, Jin W.
Right. So do you see what happened here? Right. She stunned you. Jin W Kha'Zix comes out, so you're dead. Right. So
Mhm.
why was this not a good idea, or rather, why was doing this not a bad idea? But what do you have to be afraid of?
Uh, getting engaged on.
Right. So what's their engage? Right. That's it's always this specific. How do they engage on me? Because if they have like Janna, Soraka, and like Lulu or something, it's really hard for them to engage on you. But
Mm.
what do they have here that makes this kind of dicey? Like, what's the hard engage here?
Um, Irelia stun. I'm not sure. Yeah, Irelia stun.
Right. Earlier stun. Right. So how do we stop
Yeah.
earlier stun?
Um, I mean, yeah, my spell shield's down, so I think the only thing I have is flash.
Right. So you can't stop it. Right. Is the
Uh-huh.
idea. So if you don't have a way to stop their engage, you shouldn't kind of you shouldn't be in a spot where you can get engaged on. Right. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because this is one of those things where you can get a lead, you try and do something, and then you die. Right. Or you
Mm.
give up something that you shouldn't. And this is like kind of how it usually happens in solo queues. You try and hit a tower, you get engaged on, you guys die, right? So if they just stun you, I think you just die, right? How do you get out? You can't get out, right? You have to flash this earlier stun, and then you lose flash for almost nothing, right? If Jin hadn't wasted W and Kha'Zix was here, it kind of doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah,
is the big idea. I think we got lucky here because they were very uncoordinated, but in solo queue it's about winning solo queue is about like building consistency, right? So how do you make this always work? How do you make this always be a good play?
Just like make sure I have like the spell shield and like have wards on the map.
Right, spell shield, right? That's the reason why you can do this, or you should be able to do this, is because they can't stun you if you have spell shield, right? But we know you can't do this because you don't have your E up, right? Something else could be like your Warwick and your Zed are hiding right here, right? But I think they are too far away for this to say something like we can counter with more people, right? Usually being able to counter with more people says you can do this, but they're too far away, I would say, right? You die really quick. Kha'Zix damage and early damage is really fast, so you guys get away with it, but I think this, could be this is like something that's super common in solo queue is trying to hit a tower and then everyone dies, right? You need a base, I'm pretty sure. You need a base or you need to go bot, either one. Oh, what's going on? Okay, fast forward. Okay, hold on. Back it up. Okay, so we're taking this tower, sure. After you take tower, what do you do?
Yep, base. Probably, yeah, base.
Okay, why the base option?
Because I have a lot of gold. And
this is true. You have money to buy something, but I would say it's not probably not the most significant reason. What's the main reason for basing here?
I'm low.
Yes, you can't. Oh, you can't do anything, right? You're just gonna die if you try and do something. So, you need a base for HP, right? So I think after you take the tower, what's the goal after you take the tower? You want a base or you want to go push sideways, right? So there's no real reason to kind of stay here.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing to do is the idea. Maybe you could say something like, oh, I want to push another wave mid, but I think that I would prefer, it's probably better to go bot since Zed came back mid, right? Something like that.
Yeah, no, I don't know why I went back mid. Like
I think you were like trying to help him because he was like doing something weird, but
yeah, no, but like Fiora's like pushing. I think like that was like a big problem this game. It was like Fiora split push.
Okay. Let's watch this. Okay, so you guys are trying to do something mid. Your top laner came mid instead of matching Fiora. Whatever, it's not really your fault. Okay, you kill these guys. Sure. Pause. What do you want to do now?
Go top.
Okay, I would say not the worst, right? Maybe you guys consider keep going mid, but probably not, right? Pretty much anything that involves generating money is good here, right? So going top is fine, I think, if you guys can catch her. Oh, you guys can't catch her. Oh, she didn't parry. What the hell? Yeah, you can't catch her, right? So we're seeing some kind of interesting mid game ideas going on here. It's kind of interesting. Not really sure what to say, but the game is really devolving quickly. Okay, Rift Herald. Okay, sure. I think that this is not bad since they're like defending mid, right? So shouldn't be stopped. Right, Alivi's gonna go top, so you're gonna go mid, and then you guys can do dragon. Sure. So far, nothing really. No real major changes except the kind of idea that what are the requirements you need to hit the tower?
Have like a way to do something if they engage, like basically like make sure that I don't die. And
right, you have a plan for their engage, right? And you can actually do something at their tower, right? Like if they have a Ziggs and they insta clear the wave, you got a problem. So this is kind of the two requirements. Okay, what's going on here? Let's rewind. I have no idea what's going on here because you guys are sharing a lane. Okay, so then you want to head. You're just doing scuttle, and then you run top, but Alawi is headed top already. And push top, sure.
Oh, yeah, I
Team is
kind of
fighting
stole your
mid.
wave
Dude, this
here.
game is legit insane. You don't wanna fight this guy. Oh, you're dying here. So let's talk about this. What's going on here?
Um, I don't know. I thought it was possible since it was like 2v1, but yeah, no, I did end up dying here.
Right. So why do we kind of die here? What do we do? What could we have done better? I guess is the idea.
I would say not take a tower shot. I feel like I would have survived, but I don't
Okay,
know if I
tower
could.
shot is relevant, right? Because Fiora lived with like 1 HP. What else? There's like a big one. There's like a big one that's kind of defines the relationship between ranged and melee. What happened here? What happened here? Right here.
She closed the gap.
Yeah, she just walked up to you, right? So,
Yeah.
I think there is like some kind of focus on we have some kind of tunnel vision on the tower, like trying to hit the tower. You have to make sure that this is kind of along the same lines except different, right? It's like, oh, how do you deal with their engage? So he walked up to you. I guess that's his engage. What do you do? And then we didn't really have a response, right?
Yeah,
Which is
no,
the problem.
he keeps
So
autoing turret.
yeah, exactly. So the big idea is that here's a secret in solo queue. Towers are not going to win you the game. Okay. What's going to win you the game is enemy team dies to some kind of random team fight, you guys get Baron. Or enemy team dies to some random team fight, you guys take towers after that, right? But when was the last time you saw a team just straight up siege 3 towers in a row and won?
Not that often. Like
I haven't
yeah,
seen that
usually
since
some
like
people dead.
season 3 or season dude, it's been a long time since that existed, right? That doesn't exist anymore. The game doesn't work that way anymore. So one thing basically the way it'll work is this right here, where someone is trying to do the tower thing and then the other team kills them, right? Or they try and stop you and then you kill him and then you take this tower anyways, right? You're gonna take the next tower. He's like suiciding right now. Like if you back up here, he just like dies for free, right? So the big idea is that we just need to make sure that we don't kind of we don't die when we're trying to do anything, right? Is the big idea. Your goal isn't really to take this tower; it's to 2v1 this guy, right? If he's in melee range, it's to 2v1 this guy. If he's just like not defending, then yeah, you take the tower. But you need to make sure you can't get engaged on for whatever reason, right? Like with the mid lane play earlier, just stunned you. We didn't really have an answer for that because we didn't have our shield up. Or Fiora just walks up to you, all you have to do is keep your distance and you're good to go because you had flash and heal and ulti, right? So definitely one thing I think the big thing so far has been kind of we're focusing on the tower and what should be your focus in the mid game if not the towers.
Find a way to like manage sideways and like group with the team and get picks.
Okay, what does manage sideways mean?
Like basically just make sure it's like pushed out so that way if it's like not directly at your tower, so if we lose a team fight they don't get that tower. So like basically like have it like reset or kind of just not on your side of the map.
Right, you have the right idea, right? You want to push out your waves, right?
Yeah.
One of the biggest reasons is that it gives you the most gold generation possible, right? You get the maximum money possible if you push it out, right? You won't lose any minions that way. Okay, what happened here though? Right, so in terms of what could we have done instead of hitting tower? You can push and then do something else, right? Push the wave and then what do? You can ward, you can hide in a bush, you can base, you can pretty much anything that doesn't involve hitting tower, right?
Yeah.
And then the only time you hit tower, huh?
No, yeah, I think the only reason like I was so like insistent on doing it was just because like mid and bot tower were down and like we had Rift Herald and like just because it was 2v1 I guess I thought like we couldn't possibly lose it, like just because it was 2v1. But
right. I mean the mid lane thing too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Rift Herald is really good. You guys can knock down towers. You got more people. As long as someone doesn't die for free. You're right in that 2v1 is gonna win. But I think that she just walked up to us and then she just killed us, right? because she got into melee range somehow because we were hitting tower or something, right? Okay, you guys are gonna win this fight for sure. All you have to do is just hit the closest guy. Okay, good. And then push, sure. Definitely don't do Baron. You guys can't catch us. Fiora, you should go back mid. Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah.
she didn't. She
No,
got.
we
She's
all go
not
the
getting
same
away.
way.
Wait, no way. Is
Wait,
she
no,
getting
she
out?
does. No.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we all 5 of us, like if you look at it, like all 5 of us went the same way. Like we didn't
Right, this is how it troll. Okay, so how do we know that you can't get Fiora here? Right here, this picture. How do we know you can't get her? How do I know you can't get her? How about that? That's a better question.
other than we path the same way, or like I'm not. What do you mean?
Like, how do you know? Okay, if she clicks back to her tower, how do you catch her?
Yeah, I think the only like person who could possibly catch up is Warwick, but like that's not even.
Right, she just
That-
parries his ulti and then she's gone, right? So,
Yeah.
what should you do instead? If the collapse doesn't look good, right? If you had ulti, collapse is very good because she can't get out. You guys are too fast. But, what should you do instead? Here. Of going for this guy instead of going for this guy.
I mean, both waves are pushing. Dragon's not up. I'm not really sure like what I should be doing.
So what does it
Warding?
mean when a lane is pushing?
There's like, oh, actually no, bot lane's pushing towards us, but it's like, basically like which side has more minions, like pushes the other side. But yeah, I guess bot's pushing. I'm not really sure what to do like come this part of the game. Like,
Okay, here's
it's,
the
it's hard to like because you can't do Baron at 20 minutes anymore. Even if we got like an ace, like I don't know, like
right.
I
Baron
don't know
Baron
what
is
to do
not
with all this
possible.
game.
Baron's actually impossible, right? You can the enemy team can all be dead. You can't even do Baron. So this is the mid game strategy that that's the only thing you need to know for mid game for now and for like the next 7 ranks. Okay, is that all you have to do is push out the wave, right? So it's not that the wave is pushing or pushing towards us. You want to push it out. If there's a wave in the middle, you want to push it out. That's your ideal, right? So here in mid lane, would you say did you push out this wave yet?
No.
So you go push it out first, right? That's your first thought. Okay, is I want to push this out. Your second thought is can they stop me, right? Like the Aurelia is coming to stop you, or jungle gank, or anything like that. And if they can't, you push out. You're happy. And if they can, you let it push into you, and then you clear it, right? So this is the big idea: is that you want to be clearing waves in the mid game. I think what we're doing is kind of we didn't quite put our lead to good use. I would say, right? Because how much CS do we have at 24 minutes?
167.
Right. So how much should you have if you're a 5-1-5 scorer?
I'm not sure. Maybe. Wait, like, what you're asking, like, how much I would have, like.
How much should you have if you do this strategy of you're just pushing out every wave and then you do something else and you come back, you push every wave, right?
Maybe like a little over 200. I think. I don't know.
You should have 240, right? At the very least. 240 at 24. 10 minutes. Have you heard of the idea of like 10 CS a minute?
Yeah, but I heard that was like impossible or something, or like I don't know, like I always
impossible.
Yeah, no, I always heard that like 7 or 8 was like standard or something. Like
No. Okay, so the only time 7 or 8 should be standard is this is like a team fight every minute, right? So this is what it should. This is kind of the idea. Oh, okay, this is not the right game, I guess. Hold up. This one. This is kind of the idea, right? Where you don't need kills or assists to be strong, right? How much CS do I have at this timestamp?
317, 29 minutes.
Right. So the idea is you need to push every wave, right? And if you do it perfectly, do you watch MSI?
I only watched like the highlights. Like I haven't like watched like a full game.
Well, it's good enough, right? Uzi versus Fnatic, right? Uzi had 450 at 35 minutes, right? So it's taking this idea to perfection, basically. But the big idea is you're gonna want to push every wave, right? Before you do anything, right? That's how we know is that your standard of the mid game should be push the wave before you do anything, right? So before you do anything, you push, right? Before you do anything, you go back and you push, right? So if you wanted to collapse on this guy, right? If you're gonna break this rule for whatever reason, it has to work. Okay, so let's go back to this example where you guys wanted to go on Fiora, right? Let me see. You guys kill this guy. Zed pushes, and then if you wanted this, you had to know this works. Going top, because you didn't push mid yet. Right? This was just we call this breaking the rule. You want to push before you do anything. So it was like, it doesn't seem like this guy should definitely get away. I don't know what he's doing, but he like ran through the bushes or something. I'm pretty sure he could just walk away, and then his team could come and fight you guys. But whatever. Some weird stuff happens, and then we pick up a kill. But basic idea is that we're missing so much money because we're not doing this. I think is the idea. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, I think you need to leave, or you gotta kill someone here. Otherwise, you guys you're just all dead, right? Okay, so let's back it up. Let's back it up. Okay, we kill Kazakhs, and then your team is like running in. How do you know you want to leave here?
Just because we're outnumbered.
Yes, there are more people, so automatic loss. Doesn't matter what you do, right? Unless you like insta kill someone right now, you're gonna lose. How do we know? Warwick died for free, right? So you see something like this, you're like, oh, we need to get out, right? So the reason why you lost this isn't kind of some kind of mechanical issue or anything like that. It's just we're just in a spot where you can't win, so you need to leave that spot, right? It's always like, this is usually what happens at this rank, is that random fights happen, right? So how do you get consistency out of these fights, right? Is if you ever see a poor fight, you're gonna push out your waves instead, right? Basically, you know, the most consistent thing you can do to make yourself strong is just pushing out waves, right? Because I'm pretty sure this is the first wave we've been to in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I think like so too.
It's not purely your fault, because you know Zed is for some reason mid, or I don't even know what's going on anymore. But you want your own lane, right?
Yeah.
You want to. It doesn't matter what lane it is. You want your own lane at this rank, or any rank really. Oh, we're dying here, right? If we're not careful, you're gonna have to flash. So the big what happened here is the same thing, right?
No, because I saw Zed like coming from the back, and like I looked at my thing and I saw he had ulti, and I just thought he was gonna like help me. I don't know, like I foresaw it going a lot better. Like I don't know, like.
So what's the big idea here? What do you think?
In my head, I just thought it was like 2v1, like the same situation with like Alawi. Like I was like, oh, okay, like I'm sure we could like deal with her split. Like if we just 2v1 her, as long as we don't lose like any other objectives for doing it. Like
okay, so let's say this is AP Malphite, right? And he has 3k AP. So what do you need to do to win this? Because you walk up and hit him.
Like Flash's ultimate for sure.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Like,
that makes sense.
I was gonna say spell shield, but like he also has like a slow and like attack speed reduction. So I would just rather like flash it and stay a certain range away from him.
Okay, let's say this is Camille. What do you need to do?
I don't even think I would approach if this was Camille.
Right, you're just dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's Fiora. Now what? It's the same thing, right? You can't approach. So you have to wait out specific ability and or some kind of massive advantage, like he has no HP anymore, right? And then you two-shot him, right? So against Camille, we know you can't win because you're gonna spell shield her stun, and then she ultis you and kills you immediately. Or you have to do something like you flash her stun and then spell shield her ulti, right? So against Fiora, it's don't get close. Is a big idea. So you got too close, right? He just pressed Q and then now you're dying, right? It's kind of the same thing that happened top lane, where you're trying to hit the tower and then she just turned around and hit you, right? It's the same. You're trying to hit the tower then, but here you're trying to hit Fiora, right? So what happens if you wait to hit Fiora? What's gonna happen if you stand back here?
If I like stand farther back,
right? What's gonna happen?
She's gonna use her like either like she comes closer to me, or like at the same time like Zed could go in on her and like she can use her important abilities on him instead of me.
Right, exactly. She's gonna start fighting Zed, and then all of a sudden she doesn't have enough to kill you. So then you just walk up and you can join the fight, right? So we're just getting too close when you can just kill us, right? And you can definitely tell that she's getting so much move speed from ulting you and stuff that Zed can't even walk up anymore, right? So our problem is that you need to be more patient when it comes to trying to what's the word? When you have numbers advantage, right? It's true that numbers is almost always gonna win, but if you die for free or relatively free, it's no longer a numbers advantage, right? That's kind of the idea. Maybe it's just like a Fiora thing, but honestly, a lot of top laners can do that, right? Like say for example, that was Jax, right? Jax can do that as well. You have to know, what do we need to not die to? Like, what do we need to dodge or something? Fiora is kind of weird because you have to like stay away from her because you can't really dodge her Q, right? But it's kind of the same idea in that you can't be in range for it, otherwise you're just kind of dying, right? So far, the big things we can fix are, or the easy fixes that we can see is something like, don't hit tower mid game. You want to push your waves out. Okay, that's the biggest piece of advice, right? You just want to push your waves out, and you should be happy pushing that out. And then the second thing is, every time you want to fight, I guess, ask yourself, is this a good fight, right? Before you hit anyone. I don't know. The only other big thing was like you died. Oh, you're okay here. Nice. The other big thing was like we kind of died at 2v1, which is all you had to do is wait. Right, all you had to do is just be more patient when you have more people, right? They can't outplay their way out of it if we don't give them a room. If we don't make mistakes, they can't win, right? Oh, we're dying here too, right? Is the big idea. How do we know we're dying here?
Just because she can run up to me.
Right, you're too close again, right? Is the big idea, right? It doesn't have to be Fiora, Camille, anything like that right now. Darius, Flash Pull. Honestly, a lot of top laners nowadays are super cancer, right? So you have to keep your distance, right? Is the big idea. If you're asking, why do we lose this game? Is because, or if you lost this game, it'd be because we gave scaling top laner a bunch of free kills somehow, right? And that's pretty much the gist of it, right? Is that he got stuff that he shouldn't have, right? And then all of a sudden, it snowballs into something like this, and then your team is like dying or something. There's not much you can do about it, right? You didn't get here in time. Well, you guys want to run because Fury's gonna kill everyone, right? You definitely can't fight this. Oh, maybe we get double crits. Okay. Nice. I actually won that. Let me watch this. This is pretty good. Pretty good mechanics, I would say. Well played. Good stuff. So that time you won, right? We actually had the damage to beat her if she chased us. And you kept your distance, and you had a Phantom Dancer. Okay, hold up. Let's go about this. Okay, so you killed her, you take their whole jungle. You take... now what? What do you do here?
Well,
what should you do here?
Back.
Okay, I think base 4 item is pretty good, because you can buy a full item, right? Anything like you can shove mid again because it's the wave is coming in, right? Probably not necessary. Bot wave, I guess, is not bad, but whose job is it to go bot? I guess in this case.
Probably Zed still or
Ilaoi, right? The guy with TP, right? But you can also make the argument that you can make the argument that they can't even do Baron because Baron is super strong. So it's really interesting because now I think going bot would be okay, right? Before not so much, but now I think it can actually be okay because they can't do Baron. It's kind of funny. But yeah, this Baron change is really big. But okay, you guys push mid. Oh, that's bad. You guys don't want to keep going. What am I watching? What the hell? You guys don't want to chase this, right? Okay, hitting inhibitor. You guys want to get out for sure. Oh, well, maybe you can kill earlier for free. Sure. You guys need to leave, right? You guys need to leave.
Yeah.
What is going on? Okay, we ate a shroom. That's kind of awkward, but that's just Teemo, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, I think we're all leaving, and then let's
You need to
Sonya,
leave.
and then
Okay, so
yeah, we
what?
just I didn't leave.
You sure he's dead, right? So you gotta go.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you can do to save him. The only thing that could happen is that we also die. So we're also dead here if she kills us. Oh, we're dead. Okay. This is really interesting. Okay, so I think nowadays this season is also a lot about when you see a losing team fight, what do you do? Right. What do you think you should do?
Leave.
Yes, you got to get out, right? Because
Yeah.
losing implies cannot be saved. Well, maybe not cannot be saved, but hard to save. If not, if possible, it's hard, right? Most of the time it's impossible to save it, right? So back when your Warwick ran in and died, right? Remember that in your jungle, you had to get out because you had less people, right? It's the same thing here. Someone stayed and then he's just fucking dead. So you gotta leave. There's nothing you can do to save him. You had a numbers disadvantage. Wait, your Warwick died. Yeah, your team's just dead, so you just gotta go. So let's say you had left. What would you do? And your whole team died. What would you do?
I would like to say like, oh wait. Yeah, no, I would like to say that I would have cleared the bot wave, but then like Fiora could just run me down because she just TP'd bot. I'm pretty sure.
Right. So you can clear the bot wave, right? If you do what? If you have ulti, and you can kite out Fiora, right? What do you need to dodge? Oh, you need to make her so you can't get your vital procced by her Q or something like that, right? You can 1v1 her, right? You can. The idea is that if you live, you can do a lot of things, right? You can farm your whole jungle, you know. Even if they get dragon, you can generate money, right? But one of the big ideas of AD carry is making sure that we're staying alive so that we can kind of be able to do something in the game, right? Otherwise you have no impact on the game, right? Okay, so what's going on here? What's happening here? Describe this to me. How do you know this doesn't work? 2 reasons.
2 reasons. One. I mean, like, there's a chance of like everything being worded, like.
Right. How do you know it's not worded?
Yeah, no, because I mean, I play on lock screen, but I'm pretty sure I didn't see like a sweeping lens go off.
Yeah,
so.
it's just not fucking worded, right? There's no pink word. What's going on here? What's the second thing here? What do we talk about in the mid game? What do you want to do?
Push waves, and there's a big top wave.
All right. So one of the reasons why they know you're here is because no one's catching the top wave, right? How do you make people show up if they're camping? You push, and then if they don't catch the wave, they lose all the money, right?
And then like,
so
I would say like, wouldn't this also be bad too? Because like, we lost bot inhib, or like, because like, if I go cast bot inhib, they could just Baron, right? Or like, you see what I mean? Like, I don't know, like.
At 37 minutes in the game, you would say, yeah, they can just Baron, right? So whose job is it to go bot? The guy with TP. Right, so you can TP to Baron. But what's the big idea here? What should you do instead of this? If you know this doesn't work because you have no pink ward, that's the first like warning sign. What do you do for what should you do instead?
Just clear top.
Yes, push out top, and you're good to go. Right, that's the big idea. Is that when in doubt, push out the wave. Right, the only time you don't push out the wave is you can do something immediately. Right, your team is fighting, you gotta go now, or they're gonna kill you because they have Rengar or something like that. Right, that's the only exception. Only exceptions, I would say, for now. And then it looks like they do come in to check. This team was straight up running in. Oh my god, what's going on, dude? Whatever, they actually don't have to fight you here. All they have to do is let your bot lane go kaboom.
This tower.
So yeah, we didn't push out top. So all of this, nothing's gonna happen here. You can just fast forward. You guys are just losing off this. So kind of.
Yeah, no, that top wave I guess led to Fiora getting
right. You have to push out your waves, right? It's a big. If there's anything you want to take away from mid game strategy, it's push out your waves when in doubt, right? So here's an example when you don't push out your wave, because you can do something better here, right? You guys can get Baron, so you don't push out top, right? That would be a waste of time. You need to do Baron. That's like when there's an exception, it should be so painfully obvious you don't have to think about it. Okay. When in doubt, you want to push out your wave. Like here, we can push out wave mid, even though you have your super minions. You want to push this out, right? because if you don't push it out, you guys are losing money, right? And I don't think there's
Mhm.
any pressure to base immediately, right? You guys don't really have a reason to reset super quick, right? You can get even more, but overall, the big idea is push out your wave, don't hit the tower, and if there's a poor fight, you need to leave, right? Other than that, you've been doing it's not bad, except for the kind of we're dying to Fiora
Mhm.
idea.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure like I like because when I just glanced like over this game after, like I counted, I was like, wow, like there's only one death that wasn't to Fiora, basically like all game.
Right. Okay, you gotta kill Fiora here. Oh, it's not looking good. You need to leave. Uh oh. You need to leave. What's going on? Oh, we're dead. I'm pretty sure. Oh, maybe not. Fiora died. Okay, interesting. Okay, what's no one's clearing top. Okay, Zed's got it, I guess. This is kind of awkward. Okay, there are a few things here we can talk about for late game stuff, right? Right, I was gonna say Elder Dragon's up, but there's another problem here, and it's team mushrooms, right? Right. So we're down to team mushrooms. Okay, I think this game is really weird to watch, but
Yeah,
this
no,
might
it's
be
like
the standard in terms of random shit happening at this rank, right? Because they
yeah,
have Fiora, they have Teemo. I don't know what's going on, but the general rule against Teemo is you need the red trinket,
like
right?
super, yeah.
Because this is what I knew this is gonna. Everyone knows this is gonna happen, right? How many times have you seen this before? You walk in, you get shroomed, you can't win, right? What else is kind of what else is kind of wrong with this picture?
This is both my sons.
Uh,
Oh,
okay,
you mean with
let's
this picture, with the picture? Okay, not like with the result. Okay,
right. Not with the result, but rather, why is this not a good idea to go and stop this?
just because it's like 2v3, like, and like I don't know. I guess like my life is like worth more than the elder. Is that like?
No. Like, how do you stop this? Like, explain
Oh,
to me, how do you stop this 9 times out of 10? That's when you do something. Is when you can do it 9 times out of 10, unless you're like super desperate, but you're not. So,
mm,
how do you know you can stop this 9 times out of 10?
we can stop it.
Like how? Like what would your reasoning be if you had a reason?
I mean, like if we were to stop it, I would say that like if they're all grouped at Baron and Elelio, but like I'm sure that's not the reason.
Right? There's no way. Is how you
Yeah.
know that. This is how you know that it's not a good idea. Is because there's no way. Right?
Uh-huh.
Like say for example, Teemo's hiding here. You step on his shroom, he blinds you. You guys die. It's over. Or how
Uh-huh.
about they're hiding right here and it's just Kazakh soloing it. Right? There's so many reasons why it doesn't work that we know it's not gonna work before it does. Right? A lot
Uh-huh.
about League is kind of making sure we don't pick an option that's impossible. Right? So something like hitting tower against they had hard engage, your team wasn't there, right? We know it's not really possible to get the tower, right? Because they're just gonna engage on us. We don't have a response, right? Trying to stop this dragon, there's no possible way, right? Where are they hiding? We have no idea, right? Not only that, but they have Teemo, which is super annoying. But it's kind of the idea, right? How do we know that these fights are gonna be lost after your team gets caught? Well, it's 4v5. It's not possible to win, right? Is the idea.
Mhm.
Wait, what happened to Fiora? What? Oh my gosh, oh, good catch. How do you know this wasn't warded? You have this Z thing here, right?
Mhm.
Plus, they haven't been in that section of the map, so you know it's not warded, right? It's not possible. Oh my god, they haven't gotten banned. How have they not gotten the dragon yet? So I think if you guys lose, it's because these shrooms are kind of they got the dragon. Oh no, you need a shield to
Yeah.
stun. Oh, you're dead. Okay, so what's going on here? So I think this late game stuff is you can kind of blame it on Teemo, right? The other you can't really do anything unless you have the red sweeper, right? So you just need to buy a red sweeper against Teemo. But uh, in terms of like team fighting and mechanics, yeah, I don't think you really have any problems. It's just some of the fights you pick are impossible. Is the
Mhm.
problem, right? So that's the idea you wanna fix here, right? Is mid game push out, right? Oh, we're gonna die here if you're not careful. Okay, Kazakhs went for Warwick. Interesting. You can just kill him, sure. There's a team right here you need to take care of. Oh, yours right here. Oh, you're dead here. So it's the same. Oh my God, this bloodthirster is doing work. You're still dead though. So what happened here? It's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah. No, like I think like I don't know, cause can you like go back a little? Like
Right.
I'm I'm pretty sure we know it's a bad fight just cause like Lux like whiffs everything. Like she
Right.
doesn't hit anything at all. And then I don't know. I guess like Zed died too. Like I think I should have like just backed off as soon as I killed Kha'Zix, cause and I mean Timo didn't even die, cause like I got in Fiora range just cause I saw like Timo overextending. Like I remember I just autoed him twice, and I don't know, just Fiora basically just ran me down after that. But
Right.
that's
So how do we prevent this? Like in forever now and forever, right? How do you fix this? The idea is your number one priority should be staying alive, right? Your number one priority should be this is how they kill me, this is how I stop it, right? So something like, oh, Camille stun, how do you stop it? You can't stop it, so you stay out of range, right? How do you stop Fiora from pressing Q on you? I don't think we have a way. We already use ulti, right? Something like maybe using ulti in combination with QSS would be your counter, but we don't have that, right? So you stay away. If you don't have a way to
no,
stop it, you have to stay out of range, right?
I have QSS, but like I don't think I would have done anything.
Right, it's not good enough, right? Is the
Yeah,
problem?
because I tried like QSS for like the move speed, like right there. Like,
Right.
yeah,
It's just no way. You're just gonna lose because it's Fiora, right? So the big idea is that you need to make sure that if you want to do something, you think of the way you come up with the ways they can stop you, right? Okay, so you want to hit the tower. How did they stop you? Early is going to stun you, right? You want to hit this tower. How are they going to stop you? Fiora walks up, right? It's kind of the same idea. You want to hit the closest guy in a team fight. How did they stop you? Here comes Fiora from the side, or here comes some kind of Nautilus ulti, or what's common nowadays? Ornn ulti, right? It's super dumb, right? That's the first thing you should think of when you want to do something. Otherwise, you're always going to die to it, right? There's no way to stop it, because there's literally no way to stop it, right? So I think the few biggest ideas, right? The three biggest ideas are mid game stuff, where push out every wave. That is the rule. So if you want to break this rule, it has to be the most obvious exception ever, right? Like there's a team fight going on next to you, right? Even then, people will still push before they go help the team fight, right? The second thing is when it comes to hitting towers, don't do it. They have to be dead. That's the only time you're gonna hit the tower. Okay. What do you do instead of hitting tower?
Sideways.
Oh no. After you push, what do you do?
So like, okay, so after I push the waves, and then like, I would say okay. Push waves, get objectives, wards back. I'm not sure like.
Right. So after I push this, right here, let's see what's going on. Am I gonna hit this tower up here? What do? You do anything but hit the tower, right? So you can't really do an objective by yourself, right? It doesn't really work that way. But maybe we can steal camps, right? Maybe we can go ward, right? Anything like that. After you push, maybe you want to base if you have items. We have no items, so we're just gonna go check a camp, right? After you push, we're gonna go do something, right? We're gonna go check all this, see if there's anything here. Okay, maybe we can steal this. Oh, we can't steal this. So that's fine, right? So you go back to pushing, right? That's the rule, though. You gotta push, no matter what you do. You must push first, and there's almost no exception, right? Unless there's literally a fight going on immediately, right? This is what you want to do, right? It's just push first, and then do something after, right? You can go run into the river. You can clear stuff. You can rotate halfway to a different lane if you think a fight's gonna break out, but don't hit the tower, okay? I promise you, hitting the tower is just one-way ticket to getting engaged on, right? So there's no way it works. And then the third thing you want to look at is when it comes to any kind of fight in general, right? You have to like say aloud, this is how they kill me, right? Fiora gets in melee range, that's considered dying, right? Camille getting hit by Camille stun, that's considered dying. Trying to hit someone when Rengar has still ulti, right? That's considered dying, right? You want to have a way to beat it, which is rare, or you want to stay out of range, make them use it on someone else, right? That's the big idea, right? Because in these fights, even though you're trying to hit the closest guy, you just end up dying, right? When the fights went wrong, that is, it's just anytime you try to do something, you just die to the closest person or the closest threat, if that makes any sense. Where are the other games? Is it on your?
Yeah, YouTube? No, just like click my channel.
Which of these do you think is did you want to look at fights, right? Mid game /
Yeah.
fights.
Yeah, the Vayne was like mostly like the Caitlyn game. I just wanted to see like uh actually no, yeah, I think it was just the Vayne. The Vayne game was the one I wanted to see fights on. Cause like uh yeah, just the fights on the Vayne game.
Sure. Let's go start to the mid game because I think there's a lot to take a look at. For mid game stuff, right?
Yeah, no,
Fast
like
forward.
well one reason I thought like I don't know, like I felt bad because I honestly like I think I did okay in the early game, and then like I feel like I did nothing like the whole entire mid game, and I feel like I played like team fights like I don't know if it's like positioning or something. I don't know. I guess you'll see it then.
Okay, what happened here? What happened here? Why is this not a good spot?
Can you replay it like from the beginning?
Yeah, sure. So we're hitting tower, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then some kind of random fight breaks out, and then what happened here?
I'm too close.
Right. So what do you die to?
Probably like getting CC'd by Thresh or Yorick or something.
All right. Let's do specifics. Like what specific ability is gonna screw you over?
Flay.
Okay. Then I think you're just dead here. If you're dying.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, no.
How about
Flay,
hook? I'll say hook. Okay, so are you prepared to flash hook at this moment?
Probably not. I think it's like too close for me to like do it based off like reaction.
Right, you need to know beforehand, right? That's the first question.
Yeah.
The second question is, do you get anything if you bait out his hook? So I would also say there's nothing here, right? So this is how we know that, you know, I think we have some kind of problems with team fight target selection, like you said, right? Who are you supposed to hit in a team fight? What's the rule? What's the rule in the team fight? If we have a rule for the mid game, which is push out every wave, what's the rule in the team fight?
Hit the front line until they use their CC, then go on the back line.
Just hit the closest guy, right?
Okay.
You stay alive is number one, and then number two is you hit the closest guy, right? So the problem here is that we're kind of we need to do both of those, right? We need to make sure you're safe for whatever reason, and then you also need to hit the closest guy, right? So I think there's a problem here. When can you break that rule?
When it's like painfully obvious, like as you said.
Yes, painful. You have some kind of crazy play that works no matter what, right? You have some kind of guaranteed play. That's any kind of alternative. You'll call that number 3, right? Is when you can do that. But number 1 is staying safe. Number 2 is hitting the closest guy, right? It's kind of what we're looking at here. But you know, what's the big thing here? What's the big thing here that we talked about already today?
Just like overstaying, like hitting towers when like it's not completely safe.
Hitting tower, right? You're not gonna get anything besides Rift Herald hitting this, so you guys just want to leave, right? So hitting tower is, I think, becoming a common trend in our gameplay here. Okay, you guys are trying to catch someone. It's not really gonna work. Get bot. Damn, what's with mid lanes and coming to your side? Okay, he's not. Never mind. He's not taking it. That's good. Sure. Oh my god, dude. All right, what's wrong with this picture here? It's not your fault, but what is theoretically wrong with this idea?
You mean LeBlanc should be getting our own waves?
Yes, like, LeBlanc should be mid, dude. I don't know what she's doing, but this is your lane. You want to be side lane, right? Why does Vayne want to be side lane?
Because she could like hold herself like 1v1 for the most part.
Right. You want to run people down, right? Remember the discussion we had on like people who want side lanes, people want mid lanes. You want to be able to run people down. Oh, okay. You guys are going for red. Okay, what's wrong with this picture here? How do we know that this is kind of weird? How do we know this is not quite working before it happens, right? How do we know before that happens it's not quite working? Just because
it's like in their spot. Jungle and they probably have like wards in it, or like.
Considering the rules we talked about today, right?
Considering the rules.
A team fight rule, a mid game rule. Are there any of those we're breaking?
Like just basically like not spacing correctly.
Remember what do we say for mid game? What's
mid game? Oh, push waves.
Yes. So, is a wave pushed?
No.
So we're making an exception, right? So is this exception painfully obvious?
No, not at all.
Agreed, right? So this is how you know. This is the easy fix for your gameplay. This is how you do it, okay? You say, do we push the wave? Is this exception obvious? I don't see what's going on here, right? How do we know that you can get this red? You don't know, right? Because they can just smite it away. So there's no point in doing this because, or rather, maybe the idea is you really want to force a fight for some reason, but obviously it's not gonna work, right?
Yeah, no, I think I don't know. Like even though like it ended up pretty bad, like I feel like I played it like pretty bad too. Even though like,
I mean, the reason why you're playing it bad is not because your mechanics are bad or target selection is kind of weird. Sure, you're chasing. It's just that this is such a bad situation you can't win, or rather, this is such a bad situation that you're not supposed to win. Right? If everyone's equal rank, right? You're like, oh, maybe challenger player can do this, or maybe diamond player can make this fight work. The big idea is that you don't put yourself in a disadvantaged spot, right? It doesn't make sense, right? Because there's so many variables here that, if someone screws up on your team, the whole fight is going to be losing, right? You only really want to take fights where it's super unfair, right? You have more people, right? Or they have no vision, right? Anything like that. But this kind of just doesn't make sense, right? What should you do instead? What should you do instead when you see something like this?
Just probably like push mid, and do I have wards? No, just basically like push mid wave, make sure bot wave or
push
top wave is
mid,
pushing.
Right? Always push first, right? So how do you know the next wave is coming in? You look at your minions.
Yeah.
Right. So
and then like, so like, if like, for some reason we're insistent on doing like a jungle invade, like it would probably be better to push too, right? Since it
you don't give a shit. You're gonna push no matter what. yeah, you're just gonna push, dude. You don't care. The only time you go help is when you can you're guaranteed to be able to help. Okay, and that kind of, it's subjective, right? Because it's different every game, but that's up to you, right? So what do we do here? Same thing here, right? What's going on here? After you do this, what part of the mid game are we missing? Can you see the map right now?
Yeah. Just you talking about mid wave or like I'm not exactly sure. Like,
do we push out the wave yet?
No, not completely. No, yeah, that's right.
You need to push. Okay, you always need to push, right? That's why we're missing so much money, right? You don't need to, right? The way you kind of consistently get a lead in any ranked game is by minions, right?
Because
if every game is
like, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because if I leave it like that, like if I like push it like that, like not all the way, like I'm just denying myself minions, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you just lost 6 or 12 minions right there, right? So and then what happened here? Now we're stealing from LeBlanc, which is kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, our solo laner also wants money, right? So everyone should be having their own lane, right? So what are we doing here again? That's sure, we push out this wave, but what are we doing next? That's that we talked about already.
Oh, hitting tower.
Yes, you're trying to hit tower here. There's no other reason why we're up here, right? Let's say, what are some reasons to siege? What do you think? We can talk about this. Very rare exceptions, but let's say it's 5v5, right? Everyone's defending. What would be a reason to siege?
5v5. What's the reason to siege? If they all show like somewhere else? Yeah.
Okay, let me give you one example. Okay, so let's say you have a blitzcrank. You guys are not trying to hit tower, you're trying to hook someone, right? So what other examples can you come up with?
Maybe like a bard ult or something, like try to catch someone as well. Or
I would say bard ult. I've never seen. 9 times out of 10. We're looking for 9 times out of 10. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen something that consistent as like bard ult diving. Bard ult half the team and the tower, and then you guys kill the other. I've never seen that before in my life, right? Theoretically maybe, but that's not really gonna work, right? So something like you have a Xerath, or you have a Lux, right? You have an AP Morgana. I don't care what it is. You have to have a reason to siege. So what's our reason here?
We don't have one.
Yeah, you don't have one. The best thing I can come up with is like LeBlanc's gonna WQR, and I think there are problems with that already, right? So. You guys don't want to siege, right? You want to do something else, right? Okay, what happened here? What would we do instead after after we talked about this today, instead of doing dragging, what would you do instead here?
Bot wave.
Yes, push out first. Always push out first. Okay, always, right? The first step is just push out first, right? You don't care about this. He can solo the dragon if he really wanted to do it, right? You need to push, right? The reason why we're missing so much, it feels like we're not doing too much, is because we're not pushing out our waves. Okay, okay. Let's see what's happening in these fights. Okay, what do we do? Kind of strange already.
We use their ult when you need to.
Right. When do you use your ulti?
Basically like when you need to like get away, or like you just need to like finish someone off. Like if it's a hectic team fight and like they're like aiming for you, you like use it so you're invisible, basically dodge everything, they can't auto you, like just reposition. And I didn't need to reposition all there. So
there are many reasons to use ulti. So if you don't have it, if none of those reasons occur, don't use it. Okay, because if you feel like we're not doing much, it's because we kind of wasted everything already, right, in the fight. So what do you do instead if you don't use ulti? What do you do instead?
Just auto. Like
yes, you just walk up, right? You don't have to tumble in. You don't do anything, right? If you're not sure, don't use anything, right? You don't want to use anything in this fight. So that's what happened here, is that we just used our tumble, used our ulti, used our heal. We didn't even get to hit anyone, right? So all you wanted to do is just walk up, right? But really what you wanted to do was what? Once you saw that this fight was out, or let's say he got kicked out and then Zin's walking away, right? We want to, after he flashes away, you want to go bot, you want to go top. You don't really care. You just want to push out your waves, right? That's the kind of the theme of these games, is the mid game. Push out your waves, don't hit tower. So I think that's your biggest problem right now, is we're just not going. You go eventually, right? Which is good, but again, we didn't push it out, right? Remember, push out means completely clear the enemy wave, completely gone. You killed it all, right? So your wave is running into their tower or into their lane, right? That's what you want to see. So we have some kind of problems with that. That's the easiest fix. Push out your waves before you do anything, right? And then like, oh, maybe you guys can kill this guy because you have 3v1. So instead of pushing out, you would go for this guy, right? That would be an example of an exception, right? But of course, there are problems with this already because it's not really 3v1, right?
Yeah, we have like no vision.
Right. So how do you prevent this? What would you say?
Just like look at the map and just like be aware that like he might not actually be alone. And I don't know, I guess I could have flashed Lee Sin Q, but
no, you don't want to flash Lee Sin Q, right? You're supposed to be like, you look at the map and then you're like, oh, they're coming from here, right? Where's the worst possible spot they're coming from? Oh, they're coming from here. Okay, so you stand all the way back here, right? It's like, yeah, we're trying to look for a condemn, but remember, what's the #1 priority?
Gold. Or like health.
Okay, that's true. But if there's a fight breaking out, what's our #1 priority?
Do damage and like not take any.
No. It's to not die, right?
Oh yeah, not die.
Your #1 priority is to not die. So anything like, you need to be scared of something like any kind of TP, right? Any kind of flank, any kind of someone missing, anyone who has any kind of CC that you can see, right? No matter what, you can't get hit by it. Okay, that's the idea. So in this case, it'd be like, oh, they're just missing and they come out of fog of war. So maybe you consider this like flanking or something. But that's the kind of big idea, right? Because was this good for your team? You guys are losing this fight. So you fast forward, it's just not looking good. Oh, actually, you guys not too bad. Hold up, let's watch this. How was this not a complete disaster? Where's their AD carry? What's going on? What? Where's Tristana this whole time? Hold up. What? Wait, I'm so confused. Where is she? Oh my god, she was like in base or something. I don't know, but definitely it should not have been good for your team, right? I don't think it was. I don't think it was even good, right? You died. You ended up dying, so doesn't seem like a good idea. So
can you condemn Lee Sin that's queuing at you?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, because like during that fight, like with Yorick, I tried to condemn him in the wall because I thought he was gonna flash or something, and like he didn't get stunned by my condemn just because like Xinjiao knocked him up at the same time. He was like,
oh, that's so awkward.
Yeah,
that's just unlucky.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, that's just unlucky, man. Oh my god. All right, let's talk about this fight. What's going on in here? All right, so and okay, what should you do instead? This is a fine running to their jungle. But are there any alternatives you can see?
Bot wave.
Yes, you need to push out. Okay, push out, push out, push out, push out. If there's anytime I pause anything, it's probably because we need to push out, right? We needed to push bot first before we do anything. Okay, that's what I want you to think. Now and forever, right? League is always going to be like that unless there's some massive changes. So you need to push out first. So already at the start of this fight, it's strange because we didn't push out bot first. And this is not a good fight because someone died immediately, right? So what are we doing here? What do you think we should be doing here in this fight? Considering what we talked about last fight, or the 2 fights before.
Just get in like an auto and leave. Yeah, like is that? Yeah.
Okay, let's say if the fight was going even, what do we do wrong here?
You're wasting my ult.
Yes, and what else?
Is it that I'm not autoing like the right target or like not?
What did we tumble?
The wall.
Like, what was our reason for tumbling? Like, do we have a reason to tumble?
No, right? No. I think I just tumbled for the damage. I don't think like I needed to tumble at all.
So you tumble for damage? You know, when's a good time to tumble for damage? What do you think? What's like a good reason?
Someone's running away or you dodge something. Like...
When you said tumble for damage, right? When is it good to tumble for damage? What's like a good value out of tumble when you tumble for damage?
Is it killing someone? Like
yes,
like...
you need to kill someone. You're gonna tumble for damage. You better kill someone, right? Or you better get 3 hits off backline or something like that. You know, you need to like basically. In terms of fighting, if you want to talk about fighting, I don't think you really need to work on fighting yet. But if you want to talk about fighting, you want only good value, right? Like here, you could have tumbled for him, but the big idea is that you only want to use your abilities when you know you're getting good value out of it, right? So what's good value out of ulti?
Being able to like clean up and making yourself like untargetable. I would say like just like killing them. I don't know, like I mean like good value. Like
maybe something like you need the extra damage to kill backline, for example, or using your ulti to go invisible because they're engaging, right? The thing is you have to be able to reason it out. Otherwise, you know it's not good, right? If you can't reason it out, that's how you know it's not good, right? Similar to how we're talking about how do you know you can stop this outer dragon? We don't know, right? That's how we know it's not good. So in terms of like when you want to tumble, right? This is a great tumble, right? Why would you say this tumble on York was really good? What's our reasoning? Why was it good value?
Because I was able to like create more distance.
Right, you're trying to create space, right? It's very logical, right? Oh, we want to get away from this guy because he's gonna hit me with a shovel, right? So you tumble away. That's good, right? Or tumbling to dodge Lee Sin Q, thresh hook, whatever. Anything like that is good. But if we tumble without a reason, then that's how we know we're making a mistake, right? Which is back when we're going for Lee Sin here. It doesn't quite make sense, right? So we don't have tumble, which is why we're taking like 1 million damage here, right? We couldn't tumble away, for example. That's if you can't come up with a reason to use an ability, like figure out good ways to use the ability, then you save it, right? Don't use it. What's the other problem with this is that someone died immediately, so you guys want to just leave, right? Earl Blanc kind of screwed up, so you guys want out, but I think everyone just runs in like crazy, so it's kind of awkward. But basically, the few biggest ideas that'll help you. Okay, number 1, easy band-aid fix in the mid game. Push out every wave, right? This is the exception. I mean, if you guys can sneak this, you know, this is an exception to pushing top, for example, right? But if you can't figure out what to do, push out first. Okay, that's the biggest piece of advice. Like same thing here. What should we do here? If we didn't want to base, I'd say I'd still do this even if I didn't. Even if I did want to base.
Mid.
Right.
Or,
Why?
yeah.
Because it's not pushed out yet. Right. The wave is coming in. Right. So this is the basic mid game theory I'm gonna give you. Okay. Is you do something immediately after you push out. You have like a span of 5-10 seconds to do something, and if you can't find it, you go back to your lane and you push out again. Okay, just always push out. And then team fights. What is your number one priority? So our mid game rule is push out. Our team fight rule is what?
Don't die.
Right, and it's hit the closest guy after you don't die. Right, that's it. Right, if you're making any mistakes, it's along those lines. Right, and then it's also hitting the tower. Right, I would say is a big one too. Even if you have Baron. Right, you don't want to hit the tower. The minions are gonna do the work for you, right? You want to probably hit them instead of the tower, right? It is, or what else? What should we be doing here?
So someone should be bought. I don't know if it should be me, but like, yeah, like
It should be you, right? Because you're playing
it should be
Vayne.
me.
Yeah, you're playing Vayne. So it doesn't matter what AD carry you're playing, unless you're playing like Ashe or Varus. You should be bought, right? It's just on a pretty much if when in doubt, okay, when in doubt, you want to push out your waves, right? I think we get lucky here. What happened here? So what happened here? Did we break any rules here? What do you think?
No, I mean like even though he got like some of his combo on me, like I think I had like okay spacing and there was Darius with me. But
If he had flash kicked you into the tower, what would have happened?
oh yeah, I was dead.
Okay, so how far away do you have to be from Darius to prevent this?
Like flash forward hop range.
Yes. So that's like back here, right? So that's how we know we're making a mistake. Is that he's killing us, right? Lee Sin just screwed up here, right? He like flashed in place. You see this? So the other thing, if there's a team fight problem, it's either one of these two things, right? We're breaking the team fight rule, or the team fight was impossible, so we need to leave, right? But honestly, the mid game stuff will basically guarantee you so much money that you're gonna win every team fight, right? So for number one is mid game stuff, okay, and then number two is like team fighting. But even though you're making team fight mistakes, I think that a lot of times it's forgivable, right? It's just that the mid game is just so weird. It's kind of warping the game, right? You need to push mid first, okay? Oh, not mid, but you need to push out your lanes first, right? And then of course there are more people. You gotta back out. I think that's spooky. You're kind of crazy walking up here, right? Okay. Let's see. Fast forward. Oh, LeBlanc found someone. It's kind of awkward, but what happened here, right? In terms of team fighting, what would we say was wrong with the tumble?
I didn't get like any value.
Yes, you didn't get value. Actually, it's negative value, right?
Uh-huh.
Using it and not getting anything, we call negative because you don't have it anymore, right? So that's why you died to this guy. It's just chasing, no tumble, etc. Honestly, you can't even tumble because he put down the miasma, right? But you could say that's just chasing there, right? But I would not worry about that as much, right? That's the first time I've seen you face check something. So it's this mid game, you gotta push, and team fights, stay safe, hit the closest guy. I think is the two biggest ideas you need to take a look at. And of course, mid game is also don't hit tower, right? That includes don't hit tower. You just need to push, right? You hit the tower when they literally cannot stop you for whatever reason, right? That's the only time. Like, oh, now you guys push me because Darius and Xin are pushing up to their inhibitor towers. Oh my god, you got both towers. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, this is actually happening.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, now what do you want to do? You don't want to stay, right? Why do you not want to stay? Okay, what's going on here? Let's talk about this. what are some ideas here that what kind of rules are we breaking, I guess? Or ideas that were
Numbers.
kind of okay, numbers is one. But it's gonna work for a few reasons, right? What's the idea here? Let me phrase it in a different way. What could we have done better, right? Because we want to look at team fights, right? So what could we have done better?
I would say like not ult so early.
Yes, right. Don't ult early. What else? What else?
Get like I don't think I needed a tumble there, but
Right. Agreed. What's the value on the tumble? It was none, right? We'll say it's negative, right? So if you take anything away from fighting, it's you want to hold on to your abilities until you can guarantee value, right? Like a classic example is you're playing Caitlyn, you use Q, you completely miss, right? So how do you guarantee value? Wait until they're chasing, wait until they're stunned, right? Anything like that. Wait until they're running away. But unless you can guarantee value, you don't use it, right? And then here, you kill them all because you have amazing value on everything, right? Tumble is good. You have Lulu, I guess, so auto attacks are OP, right? It's all good, right? Everything after that was good. But I think we kind of same kind of issues, but this is just like Vayne, I guess, right?
yeah, no, I think it's just Spain. Like,
Right. So same kind of ideas, but you did good here. You did good here. It's just definitely take a look at mid game stuff, right? And team fights when you're kind of what's it called? You're like you flip the priorities in terms of I need to do damage instead of I need to stay alive, right? Because if you flip the priorities around, Fiori's gonna kill you like she did in the other game, right? Let's take a look at the last one real quick, see if we can see some kind of similar ideas. But I think it's mostly the same, right? I would say.
I think like in both games, like I was like, I can say that I think I came out like maybe just a little ahead or something. I think this one is where like this game's where I start behind because I give first blood. Like the game.
Oh no! You don't want to help this. Okay, good. Oh man, this one looks kind of disaster. Everyone's just pushing in, so maybe you can just clear and then they'll okay. Okay, I'll say that's acceptable flash. That's worth. You can kill this guy too, sure. Maybe you need to go top. Oh my god. Okay, this game is kind of weird, I would say, because this is already like 20-minute inhibitor. But it's the same ideas, right? The same ideas. Right? What should we do instead of taking camp?
Push out.
Yes, push out first, right? You take camp after, and then after you take camp, you come back to mid and push out again, right? So this is a big idea. It's push out first. Always push out first, unless you can come up with a way they stop you, right? They're going to engage on you with Ash ulti, right, or something like that. But at this rank, they're gonna let you push out no matter what. It doesn't matter what the matchup is. They'll always let you push out. I promise.
And then like. Can you just look at like the like the very beginning of like laning or whatever like for this game?
Let's see. Oh, it's like real all the way at the back. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look. Okay.
Because like I think like I try to basically just like last hit when like Saber last hit it or whatever. Like I don't know, doesn't like I don't know how to phrase this. My bad. I'm sorry.
Like, are you trying to like pressure her when she's going for last hits? I guess.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good idea, right? As long as you're not getting engaged on when you do it, right? Or you're not getting punished, like they're gonna trade on you, right? You did it here. Oh, okay. You're dying here to ignite. I'm pretty sure. Oh, okay. Let's watch this. So, I usually tell people not to do this because of what just happened, right? So, the rule is okay. So we didn't really talk about laning, but my kind of laning rules are: your first priority is to not die to gank, right? And then your second priority is to get every CS, right? And then your third priority is matchup, right? Don't get engaged on / don't what's it called? Yeah, don't get engaged on. Well, play the matchup out, right? Like so, for example, if they have all in. Don't give them an all-in, right? Or if you guys are trade as much as possible, right? And then the fourth one is pressure them on CS, right? As you can pressure them on CS, right? So here, this is just you're trying to pressure, but they can engage on you, so you die, right? Is the idea. So that's why we say that's last priority, because if this happens, then none of that pressure mattered, right? You just gave up the kill, and then it didn't matter, right? So the big idea is you can do this. You just need to make sure you have an answer to their engage, right? So similar to how we're talking about, oh, you can hit this mid tower, but you have to be able to answer Aurelia, stun, and Jhin ulti and all that stuff, right? This is just on a smaller scale, right? You want to do something, they want to stop you. How do you beat them, right? You don't have a way, you automatically die, right? So here it's just make sure that if you want to pressure on them, you can beat their engage.
And then so like let's say like if you happen to like die like that in like one of your games or whatever in like this matchup, like how would you play like the lane after that as Caitlyn?
Oh yeah, you're like, fucked, right? So you need to just last hit, right? You just need to basically you need damage control. Don't make it spiral out of control, right? So basically now it's just like, oh, we just need to last hit as much as possible, right? We just need to get as much CS as possible and then scale into the later in the game, right? It's kind of the big idea. So anything like what you're doing right now is good, right? You need to make sure. Oh wait, hold up. Why do we queue this wave? What would you say the value on that Q was?
Not that high.
Yeah, I would say it's negative, right? Because what's the idea? Oh, you're trying to clear this wave, right? But in reality, it just messes up all the CS, so you can't last hit under tower, right? So another idea we can throw at you is, when in doubt, don't use abilities, right? But don't worry about that as much. But it's still the same kind of idea in terms of fighting, right? This is the idea of value. Oh, okay, you guys can win. Just hit Saber, right? You guys are good to go. Very nice. You can just net forward or flash forward. Doesn't matter. Very nice. Good. This is the same idea in reverse, right? Saber wants to, follow up, but how does she stop you from just hitting her? She can't, right? So same idea, but in reverse, right? Okay, very nice punish. Push this out. Oh, you can even freeze this, I would say. You either gotta push this or you gotta freeze it, but you gotta pick one. Oh, okay, this is awkward. Okay, okay, what's going on here? What do you want to do after you kill them?
I probably should have like just backed right there while I was pushing towards me, because I think I thought I could like hard shove before she came back.
So if you wanted a hard shove, you better queue this whole wave, right? But we missed like half the minions, I think. So it's kind of awkward. And then you're right that you can just base immediately because it's pushing towards you. So you just end up having to base, and it's kind of low. Not as good, but honestly, it's fine at this rank. It doesn't really matter, right? As long as we're not like dying and like dying like that is more likely. That's more likely gonna happen, right? That's more likely gonna happen. What about the value on this queue? If I said this was not good, why would I say that?
Saber could have just spell shielded it, and I would have wasted mana.
Agreed. What if it wasn't Saber and I'd stay still not good? Why would that be?
Probably because I can't I don't have an answer if they hard shove the lane or if they want to trade with me. I can't just like EQ away.
This is true. Auto. Also, the other one is, how do you know this is gonna hit?
Yeah, I don't. It's like hella far away.
Right. No clue, right? You have to have a reason. Like, oh, you predicted his movement. Like, he's gonna dodge down, or he CC'd, or he slowed. Right. You need a reason, right, to make sure it's good value. Otherwise, kind of not getting any value, right? Negative value. So, be wary of that too. But honestly, if you can just do this mid game idea and hit the closest guy idea, you're gonna win pretty much every team fight, right? And make sure you don't continue fights that are like someone on your team just instantly dies and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, this is a Nocturne gank we just saw, but even if it was a Nocturne gank, it was still spicy, right? Still dicey. Let's see what happened here. This is a jungle gank, right? So that's kind of awkward, but we're kind of doing the same thing in terms of you're trying to hit him, but they can just go on you, right?
Yeah, no, I see. I understand. Thank you.
Right. So, but yeah, honestly, stuff like this, I would not worry about as much as the mid game stuff, because the reason why Smurfs can just get 100% win rate, whatever 80% win rate, is because even if lane does not go well, right? Because not every laning phase is gonna go well. The mid game matters, I think, the most right now, unless laning is actually like super disaster. Mid game matters the most. mid game and
Mhm.
team fights, right? You just gotta push out every wave and hit the closest guy in team fights and make sure you don't die. And I think that is like the cookie cutter strat for you to
Mhm.
win these games, right? That's all you
So
need to do.
basically, like, okay, wait. So okay, the mid game, like, if I push the tower, right, and
Right.
then just go somewhere else,
Right.
basically, I'm just looking to fully push the wave, and then try to like look for a catch or objective or ward or something. Cause like I don't know, I think the reason I like just always keep hitting turrets is because like as the ADC, aren't you like just the primary damage to turrets or whatever?
Um, that is the idea that when you're sieging, you're the guy who hits the tower, right? Or if everyone dies, you're the guy who's knocking down towers, right? But
Mm-hmm.
in solo queue, don't think of it that way
Uh-huh.
at all. It doesn't work that way in solo queue, right?
Uh-huh.
In solo queue, what you want to think is you're there to generate as much money as possible, so you can carry fights, right?
Uh-huh.
That's pretty much your only objective in solo queue. So
Uh-huh.
anything
So
like you're playing Caitlyn, I want to hit the tower. That's not right. Not in solo queue.
mm-hmm.
Unless it's like so free for whatever reason. But I would advise, in most of my games, I don't hit tower,
Mm-hmm.
right? So sure, other people may have different philosophies on it, but this is what works for me. So I'm just like, this is what I tell people.
No.
It just doesn't. It just trying to hit the tower. I like some days I test. I'm like, oh maybe we can try and hit tower today, and it just never works. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it doesn't make sense. So things you should do after you push is ward, right? Or if you have a pink ward, right? Since we have Morgana, what if we hide in this bush? Right, and then they try and clear this wave, we can go for a bind, right? Anything like that, right? You want to push, do something else, right? Doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're not gonna die, right? As long as it's good for your team, you're winning the game. If you push and you can do something else, right? So like, let's take a look at this example where something's going on in the jungle. I'm gonna push first, anyways. Okay, you always need to push first. Okay, and then maybe you can help, right? But that's the big idea. It's like, oh, push. Oh, maybe we do camps, right? Push, do camps, come back, right? And all of a sudden you have a million farm at like 20 minutes, right? And you're good to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like hitting tower. In this case, why are we hitting tower here? Would you say?
Just because Lux is dead, so like they don't really have like the wave clear or like as much catch.
Right.
I'd say.
Agreed. And then when Singe comes, we're like, okay, we get out, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can't do it anymore, right? So this is literally, there has to be no way for them to stop you. That's the only time. Otherwise, that's a throw. Okay, that's what I want you. That's what I want you to think. That's how I want you to think about it. Is literally no way for them to stop you. Otherwise, it's a throw. Okay, and then I don't know what's going on here, but some crazy shit's going on. Oh, okay, nice try, but you get the idea, right?
Yeah.
So work on that for sure. And then when you can go back in your replay and see that you're pushing the wave every time, then the next step is team fights. Okay, in fights, make sure you're not dying to XYZ, right? It's more likely that you need to stay safe and hit the closest guy than it is you need to go in and finish someone off or something like that, right? That's what you should think, in my opinion.
Okay, for sure. And like the last thing, is there ever a scenario where like you don't switch to blue ward, or is that just like always level 9?
Teemo.
That's it.
That's what I was like. That's why I was like, oh, dude, there's a Teemo in this game is really weird because you need blue ward to see if they're doing it, right? Or, but in this case, you just need a red trinket, right, for Teemo, right? That's pretty much the only thing I can come up with is Teemo streams late game. You need sweep. Everyone needs a sweeper, I'm pretty sure. So most of the time though, blue ward, right? And then what's good value on blue ward? What do you think?
I would say like checking to see if, like putting a word on objectives, or like to see if they're doing it, or just if you have no vision on it, and like put it in like the path you're gonna go so you don't face check. And
yeah, I would say that's
like,
good value. Yeah.
Like entrances to your jungle, I would say that's like
don't use it to ward entrances to jungle, right? Why is that?
If you're far away, you can't defend it. I don't know.
Right. If they're just gonna. What happens if they just walk up, clear it? Then your blue trinket at 0 value, right? It was just not very good value, right? So honestly, you don't really need to know how to use blue trinket. It's just check it, use it to check to see if they're doing Baron or Dragon, right?
Okay, yeah, for sure.
So basically, big ideas. Push the rules. Stick to the rules. And if you watch your replays and notice that you're dying or losing because you're breaking those rules, remember, stick to the rules and see how that goes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions slash you want to go back and review any concepts or?
No, I think I'm satisfied. I'm good.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube, send you the link. Other than that, good luck in your games, and let me know how things go. If you have any
Alright,
clips
for
you want to
sure.
show me, feel free to send them my way.
Okay, thanks, man.
Yep. Good luck, man.
Thank you.